off again. But it's the only way you're ever gonna learn. You look back and it's all in the past. I'm dwelling on the thoughts I cannot say to you. If I don't say the words, then maybe it's not true.
Morning all, welcome to NUFC Matters with me, Steve Wraith. Holly Blades is on her way. She's having a few technical difficulties with her computer. So what I will do at the start of the show, because this is only 30 minutes, because obviously we've got to get to the match, just want to say, as always, a big thank you to our sponsors, Spider Miner, worldwide coverage from the guys that have been with us for a long time. Thank you to them. Thanks also to skipsandbins.com, telephone 0800 25 45 25 3, email inquiries at skipsandbins.com, website www.skipsandbins.com, easy contract free and pay-as-you-go waste collection. Thanks to L&G Family Funeral Directors, 01913897245, and the Garden of Healing Dispensary, CBD, hemp and cannabinoid specialists, www.gohd.com. Thanks to John at qtechshop.co.uk, the makers of pool tables and snooker tables in Wallsend, Newcastle, and the guys who run our website, NUFCmatters.com. Thanks also to ClearKai. Meet the new game over screen. Drop into a ClearRun device near you. Available on Apple Store, Google Play, and clearrun.game. Thanks also to Media Arts for all their help with the video side of things. If you want to subscribe, hit the Newcastle Legends logo in the bottom right-hand corner, and you can subscribe for free. We still do 7 shows a week. Hit the thumb up under the video to like the video. That's free to do, and it does help us. Click share to the social medias, and drop into the comments box to speak to like-minded Newcastle fans or to post a question on today's show. Also available as a podcast on iTunes and Spotify, but those of you who regularly tune into them when you're out walking your dog, Neil from Media Arts is away for a week. I'm presuming that won't happen now for the next week, so be aware, if you want to catch up with your favourite show, you will have to do it on YouTube for this week only, as Neil is having a well-deserved break with his daughter, who hasn't been too well, and we'll wish her well in her recovery. Also, membership. If you want to become a member of the Toon Cult, the NUFC Matters Cult, then put your smartphone over the top of this smart code, QR code, and you can get straight to the website, or just go to nufcmatters.com and look for membership. And if you join for a one-off payment, you receive a lovely cup, a pen, a scarf, a membership card, and entry into the free monthly draw, which we do once a month on the show, giving away match tickets, PlayStations, you name it. We've given them away on this show, so keep your eyes out for the next one in the next couple of weeks. And if you are a subscriber, you should already have your car sticker. If you haven't, then email John at nufcmatters.com to get your free car sticker. Don't forget, Malcolm is at the Dog and Parrot today, and he will be starting his pre-match talk at 11 o'clock and his post-match talk at 3 o'clock. And what a game for Malcolm to be at, of course, who can, those of you of a certain vintage will remember that hat-trick he scored on his home debut in 1971, and I see he's just tweeted about it this morning, so it's something he certainly hasn't forgotten. Food Bank, of course, will be operational outside the ground today, so pop over to see Steve Hasty, Bill Corcoran, and the lads and lasses and make a donation. If you are an expat or somebody who can't make the game today or unlucky enough not to have a ticket, then go to the website, nufcfansfoodbank.co.uk, and you can make a donation there today. And yes, Newcastle take on Liverpool, and still wait for Holly to get here, so I'll just crack on, because as I say, we've got to finish the show at 9:30. Liverpool at home, Newcastle obviously playing their penultimate game of the season. It is a 12:30 kickoff. It is live again on TV, something which we are quite used to, on BT Sports, and no surprise, the game is sold out. And something I never thought I would be saying way back in December of this year, Newcastle United go into this game on the back of 4 victories, having won each of their previous 6 fixtures at St James's Park, and they are unbeaten in the last 8 home Premier League outings. A lot of that's down to Eddie Howe and the team. A lot of it's down to the supporters as well. Some great stuff from War Flags, and everyone getting on board with that is absolutely fantastic. Team news, well, Eddie Howe said yesterday that Ryan Fraser, Kieran Trippier and Callum Wilson remain unavailable. I did put a tweet out last night saying I just had a feeling, and I said it on the Three Amigos show last night, I had a feeling Trippier would be involved today. Doesn't mean that he's going to be involved. I see a few people have taken it literally. But for me, I just had a feeling. I just felt this was the game that Trippier would come back for. Don't ask us why. I just felt like that. Is there a bit of kidology? Steve Bruce has done it. Many managers have done it in the past. Who knows? Mouth of the Tyne, apparently, according to Tom this morning, says that he's definitely not involved. We'll wait and see. I would say probably he isn't, but why not put out a gut instinct if you've got one? And I'd love to see him involved. I'd love to see him shape up for a free kick, 0-0 with a minute to go, and Newcastle beat Liverpool 1-0 to put a dent in their title hopes like they did with us in the 4-3. As for Liverpool, Roberto Firmino, he misses out, as does Tomiskas and Curtis Jones, who are both doubtful. And as we all know, Jurgen Klopp isn't a happy bunny. Newcastle have had a full week to prepare for the game, and they've had to play a Champions League game, of course, against Villarreal on Wednesday, which ended in a 2-0 victory for them. Referee, well, it's Mr. Andre Mariner. This is his second visit to St James's Park this season. He also took charge of the 3-2 defeat to Spurs in October when John Joe Selby, of course, was sent off. And on VAR, one which has caused a lot of controversy this week is Mike Dean. He's been entrusted with VAR duty, but he's a Tranmere fan. A lot of people suggesting he's a Liverpool fan. I would say that he is probably Tranmere, but is it great having somebody from Merseyside involved in this game? I'll leave that for the fans to decide. But yeah, it does leave a little bit of a sour taste in the mouth. If you want to know the odds for the game, then tune into the Three Amigos, which was a cracking show last night. It was great to have Keith Patterson back on after his sabbatical. And, don't worry, Keith will be coming back on a regular basis. Not every week, but he will be back on a regular basis, as will Ian Mearns. He will be jumping on the show on a regular basis as well. I know a lot of you out there do enjoy his crack. But as you know, on the Amigos show, some of you who watch it on a regular basis will know we do have a guy called Andre Aramov who is Toon Stados. Let's hear what he has to say about today's game.
Hello amigos and welcome back to Keith. Welcome also to little Tony, who's been crying out loud for the past 15 minutes and didn't leave me alone, so I have to record with him here. What a game against Liverpool tomorrow. Maybe the best Liverpool squad in their history, fighting for an unprecedented quadruple. And the Premier League title may well be decided by Newcastle, who play both Liverpool and Man City in the space of 1 week. So, what are the stats for tomorrow? We are 10 games on a 10-game winless streak against Liverpool. Our last win coming back in December 2015, when Jurgen Klopp has just arrived at Anfield. He just signed his new contract there, so what a better time to repeat our win. The good omen is that Andre Mariner was the referee back then in December 2015 when we won with 2 goals by Gini Wijnaldum, and he is also the referee tomorrow. In between these 2 games, as I said, there are 10 games played between the 2 sides, 4 draws and 6 defeats for Newcastle, who at the same time have 6 consecutive wins at St James's Park in the Premier League and are undefeated there since December when Man City scored 4 against us. The record for most consecutive wins at St James's Park in the league is held by Kevin Keegan's Great Entertainers from the 95-96 season. So if Eddie Howe wants to match this, we have to win tomorrow. At the same time, Liverpool have 7 clean sheets in their past 8 league games, with only Man City managing to score against them. So a fantastic game tomorrow. I think we stand our chances, and if we win, we also have 5 wins in the Premier League in a row, both home and away, for the first time since 2014 when we managed to achieve this with Alan Pardew in charge. And the 5 wins then at the time included a 1-0 win against Liverpool. If you remember, Ayoze Perez scored the goal. At the same time, if Liverpool avoid to lose tomorrow, it will be a 5 straight game at St James's Park that they avoid defeat, something that they've never done in their entire history. The only other period in time that they went 4 games unbeaten at St James's Park was back in the 60s, between 61 and 69, including also a 4-year spell of Newcastle in the 2nd division. So, away the lads, and hopefully we deliver the surprise tomorrow.
I love how thorough Andre is, and that's a great start. And you know what? I'm going to have to watch back some of these things that he sent us over the last season, because whenever there's an omen like that about, you know, a period where a team has gone with the most wins and that they look as if they're going to set the record, Newcastle have booked the trend and put them in their place. It's a hard ask today, I know, but we'll see. I've stuck the link below in the chat. If anybody wants to jump on, I know there's a few of you are regulars on Monday night show, but feel free to jump on if you've got a couple of minutes and want to say something. Holly is still having difficulties, so I'm not sure we'll get her on this morning, but fingers crossed. Question for us both. Well, obviously, just for me, we are United. It's a massive. If Newcastle win today, what will the City Centre like be right for the rest of the day? We are United. It will be bedlam. Look, Newcastle are safe. Newcastle are staying up. Newcastle have got a lot of money to spend in the summer. This is a time to be happy as a Newcastle fan. It's not time for, you know, having arguments on Twitter and falling out with people. It's time to be supportive. And, you know, honestly, this club is about to take off. Win, lose, or draw today, people will go out. And that is just the way that we are built. That is in our DNA as Newcastle United fans. If we have a win, wow, it could go on for a couple of days. If we draw, people are going to have sore heads tomorrow. If we lose, people will just go out, drown their sorrows, and look ahead to bigger days when we have, you know, the players to compete with Liverpool. But that's the answer to the question for me. Tom, yeah, I saw that before, mate. That you reckon Trippier is definitely not involved. As I say, Tom, just a hunch. You know, I always go on my gut instinct. I run a podcast. I have to podcast responsibly, and I appreciate that. But when you've got a hunch and you think, I've just got a feeling, you know, he could make an appearance. I just don't know why. And kidology is all part of football at times. And as Roger says, his mouth at the time says he's not playing. Probably means he is. But we'll see. We'll see. I hope you're doing well, Roger. I hope you can make it over to the Dog and Parrot today. John, morning, mate. Thanks for your question the other night. That was a spot-on one. I always enjoy your goalkeeper questions. Con, hope you're doing well. You think we have a chance of causing an upset today, Steve? I'm hopeful we will give them a good game in current form. You know what? It's unfortunate as a Newcastle fan. We've always got this blind optimism, and especially when we've done well, there is always a fall. And I think most of us predicted, you know, on social media, I saw a lot of people predicting it is a potential banana skin against Norwich. Normally, after such a good run, you go to Norwich, everybody's expecting a comprehensive win, and then suddenly, bang, Newcastle lose 2-0 at Norwich, and, you know, everyone's looking over their shoulder again. But we didn't. We went to Norwich, we put in a performance, we didn't concede a goal, scored 3, Joe Linton scored 2 corkers, Bruno got a lovely goal as well, with the help of Tim Krul. There's always a chance. It's 11 against 11. We just don't know what's going to happen. Liverpool are chasing, you know, not just one trophy, but a few trophies. And you're looking at it and thinking, ultimately, from their perspective, they've got one eye on the return with Villarreal. And you know there's going to be changes in Klopp's squad. You know that the players he's going to bring in are just going to be as good as the players that he's leaving out. But there's always a chance. So, yeah, and it's a lovely day out there. It's a 12:30 kickoff. It's live on TV. War flags doing their thing. Cauldron of an atmosphere. We've got nothing to be frightened of. And relegation isn't hanging over us like a spectre. So, from our perspective, you know what? 100% there's a chance of causing an upset today. Most people would think not, but yeah, hey, why not? I've got to be honest, hand on heart, I'd rather Liverpool win the league than Man City. But, you know, not everyone's the same. Some people like to see Man City do it, not Liverpool. But Newcastle and Liverpool have always had such a good relationship. I do want to point out as well, I stuck something on my Twitter today. John Fitzpatrick from The Felon, his missus is a florist, and they're doing a lovely tribute to the 97 victims from Hillsborough and to John and Liam, who died in the plane crash. They're doing a floral tribute down at the Sir Bobby Robson Memorial Gardens today before the game. So if you walk up that way to the match, pop over and take a photo and give it a share on your social media. I think it's just a nice gesture that they have done. Hi, Steve from Singapore. Uncooked fishing. I hope you're doing well, mate. I hope you're not eating uncooked fish, though, mate. It's bad for you. His family is Liverpool fans. That's referring to Mike Dean, of course. Okay, well, we'll see what kind of VR decisions we'll get today. Tom says, don't understand Klopp's whinging. When does he want the game played? Tomorrow, with 2 days until they play Villarreal? I mean, it was bizarre, wasn't it? Asking somebody, asking them to put the game back. I mean, what difference does it make if you're playing in at 3 o'clock as opposed to 12:30? I really don't know, Tom. It is an absolute, head scratcher. And don't forget, Klopp was the one who was complaining about us, having players coming in the transfer window with the money from the takeover. He's just a long line of managers whinging about Newcastle and clearly feels threatened about what we've got in store for them. Donald, morning. It is a good test for us today, mate. Really looking forward to it. Andrew, hi, mate. He goes, yeah, Klopp just wanted all his own way, which is correct. Geordie Timberlife, hope you're well. Good morning. I'm a bit late, just come back in from walking me 2 gorgeous dogs. It's a beautiful morning. Let's hope it's a beautiful day come 2:30 up the mat. I've got to have a swig of coffee, folks. Apologies. Roger, good to see you. What time will you be at the dog? 11, yeah. Malcolm McDonald is on at 11, mate, so I'll see you there. And I'm definitely going to have, win, lose, or draw, a couple of drinks afterwards. There's a stag do in town from Bishop Auckland, who I might catch up with as well. Terry says, the first game I ever went to was Supermax hat-trick against Liverpool. What a start. To be honest, Terry, I'm a little bit too young for that, but I've worked with Malcolm for 25 years and I've heard that story many, many times. And you know what? I never get sick of hearing it. And I've seen on Twitter this morning, Malcolm has stuck out a link to YouTube of that wonderful day. Certainly gets you in the mood when you watch that. I watched the 4-3 this week as well. Not the whole game. I've got an edited version of it, but it just really... really gets the hairs on the back of your neck up. I was at that game, didn't have a ticket for the away end. I was in the home end. I got threatened that I was going to be slashed across the throat when Newcastle kept scoring goals. And I've got to be honest, when Collymore scored the winner, I was off across Stanley Park quicker than you could see Supermax. So, but yeah, that game, for a game I haven't been to, it's probably the game I know the most about from behind the scenes and on the pitch. I love the story that Malcolm tells, and we're going to do a series through the summer because obviously you can't do 7 days a week content about what's going on at Newcastle United. But we are going to do a series with Supermac and Gibbo, looking back at each of the seasons Malcolm was at St James's Park. So that'll be every Thursday, which will be great. We are going to keep you up to date with recent events and transfer. Though we're going to have a transfer update each day. Some of it will be factual, some of it I'm sure will be fictional. But I am going to keep account of each player that we are linked with. So I'm asking for you, the people in the chat, to copy me in on Twitter with the players or links that you see. I know I could probably follow some of these other accounts, but I'd rather you did it and we get involved, and then I can say, well, look, I've had this from such and such, and let's see how it goes. But yeah, I'm going to try and do that each day to keep you all up to date, and let's see what transpires. But try and keep a rough count on how many players we are actually linked with. I do hope we can be party poopers as well. Geordie Tumbalay says, win or lose, we're on the booze. I like it. It's another T-shirt potentially for John from QTech. They may been looking for Molly Malone to buy some cookies and Muscles Alive. I must have missed the original tweet about that. If we lose, I hope the fans don't go into a meltdown. We are safe, says Ron. And I'm the same as you, Steve. I believe Trippier may get a spot on the bench. Yeah, I've just got a feeling. I think it's going to be too early for Callum Wilson. I'm not sure whether he'll be risked until Burnley, but I think Trippier will play some part today. And Trippier, the reason I say that I think he'll feature, again, you say he might go on the bench run. I think when the time's right. I know Eddie Howe's managed this correctly, but Trippier against Kraft, who are you going to start? I just think squad rotation might come into it, and I think if Trippier's fit, he doesn't start on the bench. He starts on the pitch. But who knows? Who knows? We'll see. Tom says, I'm not expecting anything today. Buzzing for the match today and for tomorrow as well. Yeah, women's match at St James's Park tomorrow. Don't forget that. Should be interesting. What formation do you think we'll play today? I don't think we've got anything to lose. We're at home. We haven't got the spectre of relegation hanging over us. I genuinely believe Newcastle will go for it today, but I don't think there'll be much change in the formation. I think we'll play the similar formation that we have in the last couple of weeks. And if Trippier is available, I still think that would be the only change. I think Kraft would be rested, and Trippier would get a start. But it could be an unchanged team. We've had a week. We've had a week off. The team went to Norwich. They won 3-0. Why change it? It'll be interesting, Dunno. It's going to be really interesting. I used to sing that in the Leazes end, says JJ. Okay, I've got you, mate. I've got you. Geordie Tumbalay says, Steve, I've thought this through for a few days about Trippier, simply because it's been that quiet, and it's my gut feeling People expected Trippier back before Norwich, now Liverpool. Maybe we just need a boost. Yeah, I mean, I think that's probably my feeling, Geordie. I just, when you get a feeling, and as I say, you're doing a podcast, you've got to be responsible. But I have said, and I did tweet, that I've just got a feeling he's going to be involved, and it has been very quiet. So let's just see what happens. I could be completely wrong, and if I am, so be it. But it was just a hunch, a guess. It wasn't based on any information at all. But yeah, I'm glad somebody else has had the same kind of feeling. I'm glad we aren't going into this game needing a win. Roger, I'm glad we're not going into these last few games needing wins, because when I looked at that fixture list at the start of the season, obviously, my first game of the season was York away on a blistering hot day with John from QTech and Holly and her dad, and we basically watched Newcastle get beat off York 1-0, Steve Watson's team at the time, and I was looking at the end of the season going, God, I hope we don't need points out of these last 4 games. And, we're looking at the Burnley game thinking that could be the pivotal game of the season. It could be a relegation shootout. Thank the Lord, it's not. Graham Nicol, thank you for joining, mate. Much appreciated. If you want to join, if you can't afford the £25, then join the YouTube channel. It's a lot cheaper. It does help us support us. There are some, there are some costs in doing the show. We don't charge anybody. We keep our content free for everybody. So if you want to join as a member, just click join. As I say, it's a minimal fee each month that you would pay, a bit of a subscription fee, but it does go towards the show and it does help us. So please, if you can join, then please do what Graham Nicol has done. We are playing 11 men, not 11 cyborgs. Let's give it a go. Dunno, showing his science fiction knowledge there. Dunno, I agree, mate. It's 11 against 11, and that is the key. You look at this game and you think, Liverpool are just going to roll over us. But look at the form in the league. Newcastle United are second only to Liverpool in the form table since January, 35 points to 32. I say it's got a draw written all over it. That's why I've gone for 2-2. Khan again says, well said, mate. It's a great time to be a Toon fan. Thing the atmosphere will be unreal today. Yeah, look, just the fan relationships thing. Look, we've had lots of fallouts. I've been at the centre of some of them. Not through anything I've caused, just literally because I've got an opinion. Some people don't like what I've got to say, but ultimately, I've tried to reach out to the people who we've had fallouts with, and yeah, we're never going to be best mates. But yeah, you put it behind you now, Colin. We don't need the animosity. We don't need the negativity. We don't need jealousy. There's been photographs gone out with people with Amanda and Mia Dad, me included. And don't forget, I knew these people from 2017, but I've seen other supporters groups meeting. That's what you want. The work they're doing with War Flags is phenomenal. It's helped change the atmosphere in the ground. They've met the Newcastle United Supporters Trust. Don't always see eye to eye with the guys there, but great. That's what you need. And hopefully in the summer, they'll sit down with other supporters groups from all different sections, whether it's United for Pride, NUFC, the disabled section, the Supporters Trust, NUFC Fans United, Steve Hasty and the guys and girls. But just get yourself, get yourself, in front of these people and, hear what people have got to say. There's representatives of all the fan base across the world as well. We've just got a guy in from Singapore today. There's people all over the world who support Newcastle. And when I was fans liaison officer at Newcastle, I tried my best to connect myself and the football club with all of the fan bases across the world. London Supporters Group, Australian Supporters Group, New Zealand, you name it. Anybody who had Newcastle United Supporters Group, I tried to connect the club with it. But the club at that time didn't have the foresight to do that. This club now has that opportunity. We've got Al Walid in Saudi, who is, working away with his own Saudi Newcastle United Supporters Club. So the connection with all of these people is vital. There may be an opportunity when, the ground gets expanded on, or when something happens with the ground where, there's available tickets, and there's some tickets put aside for expats or people who come over. That kind of thing has to be looked at. And surely the way to do that is to go through supporters clubs. So, if you're an exiled Mark, and if you're sitting with a handful of people in, a bar in Singapore or wherever, then, and there's no supporters club, my suggestion it would be to set yourself a supporters club up. If you've got any hope of getting to the match moving forward, do that and then contact the club. Register yourself with the club. Just say, look, we are the official supporters club in Singapore. There isn't any other one, and do that, because the club need to reach out to these people, because we're all part of the same fan base. I was looking back to a fanzine, The Mighty Quinn, that I used to write in the late 80s, early 90s. And I read one of my editorials, and it's a bit like reading 1984 or Brave New World, but I'm saying the same thing back then as I do now. It doesn't matter if you can afford to go to the match or you can't afford to go to the match. It doesn't matter if a physical disability prevents you from going, or whether you're a fully fit person and you can go. It doesn't matter whether you buy a copy of the Pink or a pin badge and you listen to the game on the radio, or whether you're a box holder, right? You are a Newcastle United fan, and that is the main thing. You support our club that we love, and your support is just as important as anybody else's. And that is the way that I was speaking when I was in my very early 20s. I'm now 50, and I believe in the same thing. And never take your fan base for granted. Never take any supporters for granted. Everybody's the same. We're all on an equal pegging. We all come in the world the same. We all go out the world the same. And that's, as Newcastle fans. So that's just the way I feel. I've always been the same. Alan Thompson, good morning. He says, Steve, Klopp complaining is just reverse psychology to big up his players so that even Premier League is against us. Yeah, Alan, I've got no doubt about that, mate. I've got no doubt about that. He's very good at that. But he's coming up against Eddie Howe, and as Donald says, he is the emperor. Alan says, who do you want to go down, Burnley or Everton? Everton, mate, no doubt about it. I love Burnley. I don't like it as a ground to visit. It's a bit like going to Leeds was this season. It's stuck in an era. And I don't, you don't feel safe when you go there. In fact, Holly's dad, Dave, got caught up in a crush going to the toilet there. He says it's the most frightened he's ever been at a football ground. However, Burnley as a football club, as fans, as people, I've got a lot of time for them. So Everton, they deserve it. They deserve to go down. The arrogance, the atmosphere down there at times for me, when I've been down, I'd just love to see them, have a lesson taught. I'm sure they'll bounce straight back up. Roger says it would be harsh to drop Kraft playing his best football for the club. Kraft has definitely improved, says Dunham. I would agree. Listen, I'm not saying drop Kraft, by the way. I just have that feeling that he will play. Odds for BT says odds for Newcastle to win is 7-1. Odds for Liverpool to win 2-1. If you watch the Three Amigos, the last half hour, Toon Tipster comes on last night, and he gave us some good odds for the scores as well. Can't remember them off the top of my head, but just drop in that if you want to put a bet on. It was 25-1, I think, for 4-3. Trivia comes on in the last 10 minutes. We get a free kick and he scores, says Jan. Yeah, that's the kind of feeling I've got. Just one of them things. Michael Wallace says this fixture will be massive again in the next couple of years. Just be patient, everyone. Yeah, I mean, it's always massive. But you know what, Michael? I went to Stamford Bridge this season and we outplayed them in massive spells of that game. We got beat 1-0, last minute goal. But you know what it felt like standing at Stamford Bridge? It felt like we were on a level pegging, and we're not with the team that we have. But that's genuinely what it felt like. Imagine what it's going to be like after another couple of transfer windows. Question, Steve. Eddie Howe says this is not his future formation. So do you think the likes of Target will get signed if he sees wing backs as the future? Good question. There's a lot of changes going to happen. There's no doubt about that. I think on the Amigos last night we discussed we discussed the likes of Longstaff and Dummett, and did we think that they were going to? Did we think it was right that they were signing? I saw a couple of negative comments, people saying, "Oh God, well, we've got all this money to spend, and we're signing Longstaff and Dummett." But you know what? Leave it to Eddie Howe. He's not done anything wrong so far. He should be manager of the season. I'd love to sign Target. He's my favourite. With the exception of, if you take away Bruno and Trippier, right? Two class acts. Target came in and I was scratching my head, going, I don't know why we've signed him. I looked into him before he played his first game. He won Villa's Player of the Year, and I thought, well, he's obviously got something about him. I like him. I've always got a secret, desire to see defenders do well, and he's out of the players we're signing. That he's one of my favourites. I hope we sign him. He make a great squad player, and he genuinely is a class act. But who knows, mate? Formation, I think he'll go. I think at times he'll play 2 up top. I know people don't, love Chris Wood, but I do like him. I think he'll play a big part in our quest for silverware over the next couple of years. And I think that Callum Wilson and him will get that chance to play together before the end of the season. And I also think that they'll get a chance to play together next season. I hope that we'll bring in at least another 1, if not 2, striker or centre forwards. We're bringing. You've got to have 4 up front to rotate. You've got to have that. And increase the midfield. Maybe bring in Paqueta. Bring in a good goalkeeper to give Dubravka some competition. Bring in a good, strong centre half who's quick. That's what we need for me. Ron says, is the membership just a one-off or is it £25 a year? It's just one-off, mate. It's just a one-off fee, £25. And then you're a member for life, mate. So that's the one via the website. The one on YouTube really is just to help us, and that's that's literally just helps the show run. We've got to pay for StreamYard, which is quite a bit of money over the course of the year. But yeah, if you want to do that one and enter the monthly draw, it's just a one-off payment. Jody Timberlake says, I don't know why I think this, but I see Liverpool sending off today. Another good feeling. Yeah, I love a good feeling, mate. Holly, no problem, Pet. I will see you later on. We'll get you on tomorrow. I don't know whether it'll be I don't know whether it'll be on tomorrow morning, Holly. I'll probably have a sore head, but we will see you very shortly. Alistair, thanks for sending in your pictures for the Migos. It'll be another couple on next week. We'll be top of the form league after we win today. How are the lads? Brilliant, mate. Alistair, we'll have to get you on to do some singing at some point because you're singing on the train on these away trips has been superb. Alan Thompson, maybe he's not the dancing. Alan Thompson says, Geordie Timberlake, can we have 11 Liverpool players sent off today? BT says, given Newcastle's home form and the tight turnaround from Villarreal, you could make a case for this being Liverpool's toughest assignment in the running. I would say, yeah, it is, and Man City's as well. It's because the pressure's off. The pressure's off Newcastle, 100%. Anybody seen the event at Central Park, our final game of the season? I haven't, Graham. Can you explain a bit more about that? Ron giving some technical advice. Does anyone know if there's a supporters club in Northern Ireland? Ian, I know there's a lot of people in Northern Ireland who get together. I'm not sure. I think there is an official supporters club, mate. Best thing to do is what I say to the kids, Google it. But I'm sure there will be. Or check Facebook if you're on there. Or if you're not, get somebody to check. Carn Lloyd was at the stadium tour on Thursday. Still lots of work to be done, but we're surprised to find out what our previous owners did for Kath, the dinner lady, with the tribute. Yeah, I didn't see that, mate. You'll have to fill us in on that. But yeah, there is a lot of work to do. 100%. 100 people in the chat. Please hit the like button. Thank you, Roger. Jan says ASM has to be on fire today and run riot. I would agree. Donald says, question. Who do you contact at the club to get a supporters club registered? Just asking on behalf of Toon Army India. Best person used to be, what's he called? The guy who's in charge of the press office, Lee Marshall. I would contact Mark Hannon. And it'll be Mark Hannon at NUFC.co.uk. Mark's a lovely guy. When I worked at the club, me and him started on the same day, shared a desk. And he's a really top lad, and he will help you. He'll be able to point you in the right direction. So Mark Hannon at NUFC.co.uk. But that is the person to get in touch with, and he'll help you and he'll put you in the right direction. Ron says, even if Everton go down, the media will still not criticise Lampard. I would say yes. Here's hoping Sunderland fall today. Graham, I didn't realise until I was at the gym yesterday how far they'd fallen, and they've got to win today to get in the playoffs. I didn't realise that, so I don't see the news on my phone from the third tier. Donald Bain says, I hope ASM does the business today. Me too. El Stapleton says, looked after Kathy years ago when she was in hospital. What a lovely woman she was, and I was privileged enough to go into the press room on many occasions over the years and meet Kath, and she made a lovely cuppa, I've got to be honest. Ron says, keep it in mind for the future reference. So he's just back on with Holly trying to sort our technicals out. We'll get you on tomorrow, Holly, don't worry. Probably tomorrow afternoon, though, once me paracetamol's kicked in. Geordie Timberlake says, it's Kraft, must be my OCD kicking in. So many people spell it Kraft, which is wrong. Yeah, I've seen that a few times. I think attack might be our best form of defence, says John. Their forward play is so good. The less of it they do, the better. Yeah, it's gonna be a humdinger, this. Although Mitch's dice, which has called a few things right this year, went 0-0 on the Amigos last night. So who knows? Target has never let us down. No, a lot of people refer to him as Taggart as well. I always find that funny. There's been a murder. Dunnell says, you were right, Jody, at his age. I was thinking about food. XXX, welcome. You seem to be becoming a bit of a regular. Delighted to have you on here. Hopefully your season is over. Come on, the Red Men. You'll never walk alone. 97. You know what? We've done a lovely John Fitzpatrick. I'm not sure if you were on the show earlier, but we've done a lovely tribute to the Liverpool 97 today. Well done to John Fitzpatrick from the Felon. He's done that at Sir Bobby Robson Gardens today, and you want to pop down there. I'm not sure if you're at the match, but pop down. Eddie's been reserved in the possibility in signing Matt Target. Yeah, he certainly is. He's come out and said a lot of things about other players, though. But Malcolm and Gibbo both reckon that sometimes you do that because you want to get them on a contract and then sell them on. We'll wait and see. In a year or two, we'll be in a far better place to deal with games like today, says John. The Liverpool fan XXX says you've been massive with your support, but I hope it doesn't start. It isn't today. Yeah, look, as I've said, I want to see Liverpool win the league. I don't want to see Newcastle get beat today, though. I'm sure you've got plenty more points you can win without doing us. And don't worry, we're still going to play Man City. Do you think things are going on behind the scenes regarding transfers now, or when we are mathematically safe, says Chippers? Believe you me, Chippers, these have been the transfer targets have been looked at from January onwards. That's the difference between Mike Ashley's Newcastle United and Amanda Staveley's Newcastle United. And, you know, Dan Ashworth's on gardening leave. I do not believe for 1 minute that, you know, they won't have at least rang him up and said, if you were in charge here, what would you do? There's ways around things, isn't there? But I just genuinely think Newcastle will have it and, you know, have things in the bag now. And I think we've already seen that, you know. Shaw's new contract announced yesterday tells you that they're already making waves and already doing stuff. So, yeah, it's all positive, mate. It's all positive. And I think you'll see maybe 1 or 2 coming in rather quickly because you need them in at the start of the transfer window. That was another thing that Mike Ashley used to do. Hang around until the transfer deadline date and then bring players in. Well, players can't adapt. They haven't had a pre-season. They don't know what the team formation is going to be. You need all your players in, ready for your pre-season trip, your tour, wherever you're going. That's what you need to do. Alan says, let's face it, Steve, fans have got to understand it's not about big names. Who'd heard of Andy Robertson, Marnie or Trent? Yeah, 100%, mate. 100%. I agree with you on that. John says, if it doesn't happen for us today, don't despair. It's fantastic to think that the sort of quality Liverpool are currently producing is what we are realistically aiming at and bettering. Yeah. It's just, you know, having Keith Patterson back on the show last night, you know, it took you back to 6.5 months ago, and you're just like, God, you know, can you believe now we're actually doing this? This is what we were all hoping for. You know, when we were having Zoom calls with Amanda and Meerdad, it was me and Steve Hasty, Neil Mitchell, John Waff. You know, we were having these chats, and it just seemed like a million miles away. And then suddenly it's here, and it's boom. You know, the club's ready to take off. It's absolutely fantastic. It's just a great time to be a Newcastle fan. It's a great time to be alive, and you know, like, I just hope that we can see Newcastle win something for, you know, for people like me dad. You know, my dad's in his 70s and he saw the Fairs Cup win and he's seen nothing since. And there's so many of you out there who've been through exactly the same. I'm pleased for the younger fans. My daughter, my eldest daughter, is going to our first game today, thanks to John from QTech for sorting the tickets out. She's taking her boyfriend, who's a big Newcastle fan. And, you know, I'm just delighted that, you know, they've got the opportunity of going to St James's Park. I'm not sure whether I'm hoping she becomes a Newcastle fan, because then it's going to cost us a lot more money. But yeah, hey, it's just great. Just great. Graham says, I'm 52. The tune of I haven't won anything during my lifetime. However, great times ahead. We will win stuff now. Graham, never forget the Japan Cup in 1982. Keep telling people we won that. And we won the Intertoto. Who can ever forget that wonderful trophy that Colaccini paraded for 2 seconds at the side of the pitch? Yeah. That's what we've done. The Japan Cup, my favourite one though, Keegan lifting the Japan Cup. Do you think we'll get rid of Lascelles come the summer? Interesting. Had this debate offline last night. You know, somebody's got to go. Fernandez will go, won't he? He seems to like Lascelles, but then if you go off Eddie Howe's comments and you write them all down, he loves Lascelles, he loves Dummett, he loves Longstaff. Can I keep everybody? And there's only a 25-man squad. I don't know. The 5 substitute rule will help with Newcastle because you'll be able to include more people in a game. So that's going to help teams. But will Lascelles stay or go? he seems to like him. But I think if Newcastle have got a genuine chance of winning something next season, you've got to bring in a quick centre half. You need somebody who comes in who's got pace, and he's got to be a leader. But I think if Lascelles goes, Trippier becomes captain. I think that's the way it works. But the relationship everyone's got in that dressing room, I don't know. It's just it's a question you cannot answer. It's a one you really would love to answer, but really one you can't. Interesting. John says, does anyone think it's going to be a no-score draw? Mitch's dice, 100%. Yeah, XXX. Honestly, the relationship between Newcastle and Liverpool fans is special, and it's because we're both basically portal towns. We've got a big port, which used to be industrial and used to shipbuild, but because we're working class and we get it, and we're all none of us think we're better than anybody else. It's just that's what makes Newcastle and Liverpool twinned. We should be twinned. Be a good game. Just looking forward to it. Says Don, 100%, 100%. Blue Rhythm Boy, morning. Does J7 keep his place in the starting 11 next season, no matter who signed? Yes, is what I would say, and I never thought I'd be saying that, but I would say yes, 100%. Do you think we'll get rid of Lascelles come the summer? Answered that. Blue Rhythm Boy says, for me, keep Lascelles as club captain. He won't play much, and Trips will have the armband on the pitch. Yeah, I agree with that. Off to get ready. See you soon, Roger. In the Toto Cup. I have to dig out the food with that trophy. Eddie House says Newcastle United need a sporting director as a matter of urgency, but he is prepared to help fill the void amid delays to Dan Ashworth's arrival. Yeah, I think they've got it boxed off behind the scenes. They're not stupid, these people. Did we not win the Texaco a couple years ago? Yes, before my time, Geordie Toon for Life. Before my time, but I'm sure we did. That must have been in the 70s. I've got some programs in the loft from my dad from that era. Malcolm definitely played in those games. What's my view on this stadium? A new one. God, I don't want a new stadium. Not in a million years. And that is the big attraction, I think, of Newcastle United from a supporter's point of view, whether it's home or away. The centre of town, stumbling distance from bars and restaurants. It just makes it unique. We've got to build on the stadium. We can't move it. I certainly wouldn't be up for it. I think we'd need major persuasion to change. It's not just about the club, but the towns, both sides of the river. The whole place has been buzzing since October. Not seen it since Bobby's time. I agree. I believe we are after Hojbjerg, Spurs, Atike, Reims, Ndika, Frankfurt, Kamara, Marseille, and Dragowski, Fiorentina, says Jan. Thanks, Jan. Well, look, when we do the transfer show, we'll add them to the list, but at the moment I haven't got a pen and a bit of paper to write this down. But we will be addressing that through the summer. A series of meetings have taken place this week to establish summer targets, and Newcastle are working on the assumption that Ashworth will not be at the club until after the transfer window, says BT. Yeah, he's not going to be here in October, is he? October, November, I don't think. Alan says, I still look back at the video coverage of the takeover and still smile and believe it's a dream. I'm just happier for younger fans like Holly. Me too. Is there a chance we can qualify for the Europa Conference League this season? I'd love any European games back at St James's Park. I'm not sure is my answer to that. I'm not sure we would welcome those games straight away. As fans, of course, we would. Would Eddie Howe and the lads welcome it? I'm not sure. I love the fact that Bruno, in another interview, said that he still wants to win the Champions League at Newcastle. I love it. You're making me feel old, Steve. I'm 63. Sorry, mate. I'm on about major trophies, not the end of Toto or Japan Cup. Yes, sorry, Graham. It was tongue in cheek. I've got to be honest. Last 2 minutes. Hello, everybody. As we come to the end of Ramadan, I'd like to say an early Eid Mubarak for everyone celebrating. And come on, you mags. Yes, Eid Mubarak to you too, my friend. Bruno. Yes, Ben, 100%. Looking forward to the day. Okay, I went over by 15 minutes. So thanks to everybody for joining in. I'll get Holly on tomorrow. Enjoy the match. Drink safely, bet responsibly, and how are the lads?